If I could sit down with my 20-year-old self today, there are a lot of things I want to tell her. Not because I have everything figured out right now, not because I know everything, but because experience has a way of teaching us things that pain would have taught us earlier. Now that I'm in my 30s, there are a lot of things that I wish that I knew, a lot of things that I wish that someone sat me down to actually teach me properly, a lot of mindsets that I would have built, a lot of mistakes I would avoid, a lot of habits that I would have built right now. And that's because your 20s can either make you or mar you, and even sometimes both. So, in today's video, I'm just going to be sharing 7 advices that I would give my 20-year-old self. So, if you're currently in your 20s or you're trying to rebuild your life in your 30s, this video might help you. Hello everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across this space, you're welcome. My name is Oluwabunmi Grace Akintunde. And on this space, you're welcome to Bloom with Grace. On this space, I talk about faith, purpose, relationships, lifestyle. Real some content that gets to inspire you and ensure that you live God's ultimate purpose for your life. So if that resonates with you, please give this video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. Join the family by subscribing and share this link with someone that is currently in their early 20s. Yeah. So in today's video, I'm just going to be sharing an honest conversation with you guys, which is 7 things that I think that I would tell my 20-year-old self. Yeah. Or advice that I would give my 20-year-old sister. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So number 1 is know God early. Seek God early. Yes, if you can put the two together, yes. And knowing God early does not only mean, in bad situations, in situations where you're at a roadblock and you just need a breakthrough. No, you need to know God early and seek Him early. And the perfect Bible story that typically explains this well is the story of the Israelites. When God was taking them out of Egypt, God said He would take them through the wilderness, not because that was the shortest route to the promised land. There were other short routes that they would have gone through, but God chose to take them through the wilderness. Why? Because if they had gone through other shorter routes, they might come in contact with the Philistines, for example, and because they were not trained for war or they hadn't even fought any war before, they could become fearful and then back off and go back to Egypt. And so God said to take them through the wilderness where they will not have any country, or they will not be faced with war, and now go back to Egypt. And there's a powerful lesson from that, which is that sometimes when we go through certain seasons of our lives where it looks like God is ignoring us, or God is just keeping quiet or being silent, or it feels like we have been abandoned, that's not always the case. Sometimes the route that God takes us through in life, the seasons that God permits in our lives, is not because they are the best for us, but because God is trying to protect us from certain battles that we are not maybe physically, emotionally, spiritually prepared for those battles, and which would eventually destroy us. And so God would rather take us through another route, right? So my advice for my 20-year-old self, or anyone watching this who is still in their 20s, please seek God early, know God early, discover God early enough, discover your purpose, discover that the life that truly counts, so that you're not just living life as it comes. The benefit of doing this is it saves you time. You're focused on the right direction instead of, the children of Israel, the journey that was supposed to take them 40 days ended up taking them 40 years, if I'm not mistaken. It is what it is. So when you know God early, you know where you're going, you know where your life is headed, and you know that you're working side by side with God. So there is no try and error, there is no guesswork. this is God's purpose for my life. This is how I would get there. And that brings me to my book. In case you don't know, I recently authored a book titled I Knew There Had to Be More. And in that book, I explained how I was able to move from just like a normal church or Christian girl who grew up in a Christian home, was born into a Christian family, but I never really connected with God in the way that I should. And he led me on a journey of quest for purpose, for clarity, for a life that truly counts. So if you're someone who really desires to know God, probably you grew up in a Christian home like myself, but you still feel distant from God or feel disconnected from God, from life, this book is for you. If you're searching for answers to life, answers to purpose, identity, and all of that, or you just really want to seek to know God and develop an intimate relationship with God, I would advise you get the book. The book is currently up on Seller and on Amazon. The links will be in the description, so you want to check it out. Number 2 on my list would be learn a digital skill early, and this is one thing that I'm going to instill in my children early enough. Yes, in the world that we live in the world that is currently or constantly changing and evolving, digital skill is one skill that can change the trajectory of your life. And I'm talking from experience and watching people who just one skill was able to change their lives. So I know back then a lot of us heard go to school, graduate, get a job, and that's it. But in the current world that we are in, where everything is going digital, it's very important. It is in fact indispensable. You need to have at least one digital skill. I remember all those times when I was looking for a job, if I had a digital skill at the time, or if I knew much better now, if I knew better then, I wouldn't be struggling looking for a job at the time, because my digital skill will be making me money. So please, if you're in your 20s, go learn a digital skill. There are a lot of them out there. There is content creation, there is digital marketing, there is virtual assistant, there is customer service support, there is tech, a lot of them graphic designing, name it. Just pick one, especially one that you're passionate about or you're close to, that is close to what you're passionate about, and learn and position yourself. Find people who are thriving in that field as well and just learn from them. Number 3 on my list is consistency. Yes, choose consistency over motivation, because motivations can come and go, your feelings can change, mood can change, but consistency always produces results. Yes. And it's funny that one thing that social media doesn't show us always, or oftentimes show us, is the process of growth, the boring part of growth, that part where you're showing up every day, the unseen work. You're not being noticed, you don't get the attentions, you don't get the likes, the subscribes, you don't get the views, the visibility, and all of that. Social media does not show us all that, but one thing I know is consistency always gives you that result. I mean, social media celebrates people who have that result, but it doesn't show us the process that they went through, the process of consistency that got them the result eventually. So please, whatever it is you're doing, whether you're learning a skill, whether you're a content creator like myself, whether it is in your faith, in your prayers, whether it is in career, in business, please consistently show up, even when you are not getting the results, even when you are not getting the claps, even when you're not getting the attention that you want. Please keep showing up, because eventually it will pay off. Number 3 is stop comparing yourself with another person's timeline. I think I've talked much on this in my last video. If you haven't seen it, please go and watch it. So your journey is different. Stop comparing your timeline with another person. Yes, your journey is different, your race is different. In fact, your purpose, your destinies are different. So because somebody arrived early doesn't mean you should arrive at that age that they arrived. So focus on your path, focus on your journey, focus on your own purpose, and keep at it. Keep your focus on what should be focused on. Number 4, if I'm correct, is failure is not the end of your life. Yes, so it's okay to fail. I remember when I was in school in my last year, in fact, my last semester in school, and for the very first time in my academics, I failed. I failed my practical exam, and that season really humbled me. Like, in fact, even when some of my friends heard it, I'm sure they will probably be surprised because they used to call me Efiko, if you know what that means, like notebook, yeah, brilliant. So, in fact, I've never had to fail in my academics, even growing up. So, it really humbled me, and in that season, God taught me a powerful lesson there is to show me or to let me know that my failure does not define me, it is not who I am. Yes, it's part of the process that teaches you lessons. It also showed me the kind of people that I needed to show up for me, or the kind of people that I should have around me, the people who cared for me, the people who are rooting for me, both in the down times and in the ups and in the lows, in the highs and in the lows. Yes, it showed me a powerful lesson. So it's okay for you to fail. Maybe it's in your career, maybe it's in business, maybe it's even in relationships. It is okay to fail, but it is not the end of your life. When you fail, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself up, and you try again. As a matter of fact, failure teaches you resilience. It humbles you. It makes you go deeper. It makes you go like deeper. What stopped? What made this happen? And how do I correct it? How do I fix it? How do I improve on this? That's what failure should teach you. That's what you should pick out of failures and not dwell on it and say, I'm not trying again. Number 6, heal before you build. Yes, and this is what a lot of people in their 20s fail to realize. Yes, heal. Heal from your past traumas. Heal from whatever that has broken you before you build another thing. It could even be in career, it could be in relationships, it could be in marriage, anything at all that has caused you pain in time past or once. It's very important that you heal before you build again. A lot of people are functioning externally, but quietly, internally, they are struggling. Yes, because they haven't dealt with the trauma, they haven't dealt with the wound, and they are trying to build on that wound. And one of the things I've realized is that healing is not weakness. No, it is not. The fact that you want to allow yourself to heal, it is not a weakness. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to take time off. You are allowed to reset. You are allowed to seek help when you need one. In fact, you are allowed to admit it when you feel like you're emotionally tired, emotionally frustrated. It's okay for you to feel that way. But please deal with it before you build, before you restart, before you start anything new at all. Please fix that before you go into anything new. The last one on my list, last but not the least, one advice I would want to tell my 20-year-old self is to protect my inner circle. Yes, and I think this is very valid. The quality of the people around you would affect or would define your type of life, would influence your decisions, it would influence your choice. In fact, it would determine the outcome of your life. So you want to be intentional about the people around you, the people in your circle, the people you call friends. Not every friends. Some friends are just, some are distractions, some are meant for a purpose, for an assignment, some they are destiny helpers. So just know the type of friends you're keeping. Are they the ones that are pushing you forward in your career, in your growth? Are they people who inspire you to grow? People who inspire you to be more, to go after more, to go higher? Are they the ones reducing your energy? Are they the ones dragging you behind? Are they the ones destroying you? You really need to check it. So that's one advice I would want to give my 20-year-old. Protect my inner circle. Protect the people who are around me. In fact, protect what I see, the things that I see. Protect the people that I listen to. I mean, protect what I hear, the people that I listen to, because most parts, what you listen to forms you. It forms your decision. In fact, it forms your beliefs, your mindset, and at the end of the day, affects your decisions. Yes. So in summary, what I would tell my 20-year-olds, life is not about rushing. It is about becoming. Yes. And some seasons can be slow. But basically, life is not always about rushing, but about becoming. Yes. And sometimes everything doesn't go out, the way you plan. Sometimes it takes time, and sometimes it takes growth. And yeah, that's it. So if you're currently in your 20s, let me know If you find any of these advice helpful, which of them resonates with you, and if you're rebuilding your 30s, let me know which one you would be working on going forward. And so if you love this video, please give it a like, subscribe, share the link with someone in their 20s, and I'll see you in another one. Bye.